reproductores de radio en las tiendas Vaughan o en vaughantienda.com.
Escúchanos en cualquier momento y en cualquier lugar. Descarga la app de Vaughan Radio.
You are listening to Everyday.
Listen to Vaughan Radio.
You're listening to Vaughan Radio.
Tune in every day.
Vaughan Radio.
Estás escuchando
Vaughan Radio. Vaughan Radio. Vaughan Radio.
Speaking with Confidence with Ale.
Hi everyone and welcome back. Today is Friday and it is Halloween. Well, this is Speaking with Confidence, and as you know, this is your space to boost your English and your confidence while we talk about language, mindset, and real life. Yesterday, if you tuned in or if you were able to listen to the episode later in the day, we talked about giving and asking for advice. Do you remember that? We learned how to ask for advice or how to give advice to others, how to support others, and also how to listen when we need a little help ourselves. In today's show, we're going to take one step further, because sometimes a good advice we can follow is to face our fears. Enfrentar nuestros miedos, enfrentar nuestros temores. Ese puede ser un buen consejo a seguir. Pero ¿por qué vamos a hablar de temores y miedos hoy? Bueno, pues, porque te lo he dicho al principio, hoy es Halloween. ¿Qué día? No hay día más perfecto que hablar de nuestros temores y nuestros miedos en esta fecha, Halloween. But not about ghosts and monsters. No miedos sobre fantasmas y monstruos, sino temores reales del estilo de miedo al fracaso, miedo a no ser lo suficientemente bueno, miedo al cambio. Todo el mundo le tiene miedo al cambio, right? The fear of change, the fear of failure, the fear of not being good enough, no ser lo suficientemente capaz o lo suficientemente bueno. Estos son temores y miedos muy frecuentes. Así que vamos a aprovechar esta fecha para conversar sobre todo esto. And what are we going to use? What are we going to learn? We are going to learn how to talk about that which scare us using the phrase be afraid of and a verb ending in ing. For example, I'm afraid of flying. Well, my mother is afraid of flying. She's afraid of speaking in public. I used to be afraid of speaking in public. And what else can we say? Afraid of trying new things. Well, that's what we're going to learn today. And of course, we will talk on how to turn our fear into confidence. Okay? So, grab a chair, get comfortable, relax, and get ready to start our conversation. All right, let's start with some useful words as we every day do, or as we do every day. Okay, words that will describe fear, bravery, and we'll see what else we can find. Maybe some words, some useful words that will help us overcome those fears. So listen to this. First useful word today. First useful word today is, well, obviously, obviamente, fear. Fear. And what is this? This is a noun. What's fear? Miedo, an unpleasant feeling caused by the idea of danger or threat or worry. Anything unpleasant can cause fear. Temor, miedo. And fear is part of being human, so it's completely natural and normal to feel fear. Fear. Very good. Our next word is brave. And you are familiar with this word, brave. And what is this? This is an adjective. An adjective to describe a person who shows no fear, who shows the opposite of our first word, who isn't afraid of anything, who does not show fear of difficult things, right? So that person is brave, valiente. She's brave when she speaks in public. We can use it like that. Or she's brave to start new things, to try new things. She's brave to try new things. All right. Another word is determination. Determination. Something we need to overcome our fear. Determination. What is this? This is a noun. And what is that? The strength to keep going even when it's hard. Determination. You're determined to keep on going, even though the situation is difficult or is hard or is scary. You are determined, and you need determination to keep on going. Determinación. Yes. Okay, so his determination helped him reach his goal. That's a good way to use it. His determination helped him to reach his goal. All right, so listen to this one. Panic. Panic. And what is that? It is also a noun. And what is panic? It's a sudden feeling of very intense fear. It's not just fear. It's, an extra dose of fear. Intense fear. And it's sudden. Pánico. Pánico. Absolutely afraid. Absolutely scared. All right. Some people feel panic in small places. For example, some people feel panic in small places. All right. Our next word is daring. Daring. And what is this word? This is an adjective, daring. Okay, but it can also be used as a verb if we say dare, to dare. And what is a daring person? Is a person who is bold or willing to take risks. Okay, that is to be a daring person. Not afraid, but not just not afraid. No solamente no tiene miedo, no siente temor, sino que es tiene la voluntad, la capacidad de asumir riesgos. Es una persona audaz, a lo mejor, una persona atrevida. Atrevida es la palabra. Una persona atrevida o un atrevido, algo así. It was a daring idea, but not only a person. We could use this to also describe, for example, words or expressions or comments or behaviors. So we can say, it was a daring idea, but it worked. Era una idea muy atrevida, muy osada, pero funcionó. All right? Daring, an adjective. All right, let's look at the words we have so far. Listen, we have fear, brave, determination, panic, daring, And our next word is hesitation. Hesitation. And this is a noun when it's pronounced and written like this, hesitation. And when it's a verb, we would say to hesitate. Okay? So what is this hesitation? It's like a pause before doing something because of doubt. You're about to do something and then you start having doubts. Remember our word yesterday? Doubt, dudar. Entonces es esa pausa por la duda antes de empezar a hacer algo. Hesitation. En español diríamos vacilación. Ese momento en el que estás justo a punto de hacer algo, pero por la duda empiezas a tambalear sobre lo que has decidido hacer y, pues bueno, das un paso para atrás. Hesitation. A bit of hesitation is normal before big decisions. A bit of hesitation is normal before big decisions. Vacilación. All right. Our next word is phobia. Phobia. And this word, it's spelled with a P. Comienza, se escribe con una P. Pero al estar acompañada de una H, suena como F. Phobia. Because the word is spelled like this, Phobia. But it is pronounced phobia. And in Spanish, of course, it's the same sound, phobia. And what is this? It's an extreme fear of something specific. Es ese temor específico a algo en particular. Un miedo, a lo mejor irracional, pero a algo en particular. To something very specific. For example, we can say, I can tell you that my husband has a phobia of snakes. He can't even look at a snake when the snake is on TV. Or if he sees a movie, he's watching a movie and there's snakes, he can't look at the scene with lots of snakes. He has to move away from the TV, move his head away. Turn the other way. Él tiene que mirar a otro lado porque tiene fobia a las serpientes. Y de tan solo verlas en la pantalla de televisión, ya se asusta. Imagine what would it be like if he saw one live. That would be very, very, he would have a panic attack. Panic. All right. And our last word, we already did this one before, but we are going to review it. Overcome. I really like this word. Overcome. And what is this? This is a verb. And what is this? What does it mean? Do you remember? Well, it means to succeed in controlling a problem. So, overcome, sobrellevar, superar. Superar es la mejor palabra para describir el significado. To overcome something es superar algo. Has logrado éxito en poder manejar la situación, en poder controlarla. ¿De acuerdo? For example, we can say, he learned to overcome his fear of flying. He learned to overcome his fear of flying. All right, very good. So let's go through our list today. Let me say it really fast, and then I'll say the words in Spanish so you can say them back to me in English. Really quickly, the words are fear, brave, determination, panic, daring, hesitation, phobia, and overcome. Y si te diría vacilación, you would say hesitation. Very good. Pánico, panic. Atrevido, atrevida. Intrépido, tal vez, osado. Daring, muy bien. Determinación, determination. Valiente, como la película infantil. Brave, very good. Superar, mi palabra favorita. overcome. Phobia, muy fácil, phobia. Y el tema del día, miedo, fear. Very good. Those are our words today. So, before we move on, here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that Halloween comes from an old Celtic festival called Samhain? Well, people believe that on that night of October 31st, which is today, the barrier between the living and the dead was very thin. So they wore masks. Utilizaban máscaras y disfraces para protegerse a sí mismo de los malos espíritus. They wore masks and spirits to protect themselves from bad spirits. And if you think about it, in a way, they were facing their fears, right? Just like we are going to today. All right, so these words that we just learned today, they help us describe different sides of fear. Sometimes it's strong, like panic or phobia, right? You feel fear in both of those, panic or phobia. And other times it's a little bit softer. Just a little, for example, a little hesitation, un poco de vacilación antes de comenzar algo nuevo. Hesitation. And when we finally do it, when we face our fears, cuando enfrentamos nuestros temores, nuestros miedos, that's when determination and bravery and also daring come in, right? So we got those three that will help us overcome our fears. Determination, to be brave, and to be daring. Okay, very good. So let's see how these words sound in action. It's time to put, to start our new little challenge. Well, it's not new. We always do this. We do this every day, our true or false round. I'll say a sentence and you decide if it's true or false based on the meaning of our useful words today. ¿De acuerdo? ¿Estás listo? Verdadero o falso. Yo te doy una definición y tú decides si es verdadero o falso. Okay, here we go. Let's go. Let's do it. Panic means you stay calm in different situations. Panic means you stay calm in different situations. Is that true or is that false? Did you hear carefully? Listen again. Panic means you stay calm in different situations. And the answer is false, because panic is the complete opposite, is when you lose control because of a sudden fear. So when you're in panic, you don't know what to do, you start breathing hard, and you maybe start sweating, and you feel like you need to go away, run away from the situation. And so it's no way that you stay calm when you're in panic. It is the complete opposite, so it's false. All right, listen to this one. A phobia is a small, temporary feeling of fear. A phobia is a small, temporary feeling of fear. Did you hear that? And if you did, then your answer is false again. Why? Because a phobia is not a small fear. It's a strong fear, and often it's irrational, and it's not temporary. It might last a very, very long time unless you know how to overcome it. So phobia is not a small or temporary feeling of fear. So for that reason, it is false. Very good. All right. Do you have a phobia of something? I have a phobia of little holes. It's called trypophobia. Trypophobia. I can't even look it up in Google because it drives me insane. I cannot look at little, very small holes. Hoyos, huequitos pequeños. Se llama tripofobia. Esa es la fobia que yo tengo. All right. Listen to this statement. True or false? Someone who is daring likes to take risks and try new things. True or false? Someone who's daring likes to take risks and try new things. And this one is true. Why? Because daring people are bold. Bold, no de calvos. Bold de atrevido, de osado, de intrépido. They love adventure. All right? Daring people are bold. All right. Listen to this one. Hesitation is when you act quickly without thinking. Is it? Hesitation is when you act quickly without thinking. And the answer here is false, because hesitation means you pause before you act. Te detienes antes de actuar. Y esa pausa es por la duda que te ocasiona la situación. Y por ello, vacilas, hesitate, right? All right, last one. Determination helps you keep going, even when you're scared. So, determination helps you keep going, even when you're scared. And it is true. That is correct. Determination gives you strength to overcome your fears, right? So it is true. Very well done. Nice job. Very good. So now that you know these words, you know the meaning of these words, I'm going to give you two options and you're going to choose the one that makes sense to complete my sentence. All right? We're going to do a fill in the blank challenge. Are you ready? I think that you are. All right, let's do it. When the plane started shaking, I felt pure bravery or panic. So what is it? When the plane, imagine that happening. When the plane started shaking, I felt pure A, bravery, or B, panic. I would say that when that happens, most of the people would feel panic, right? Panic. Remember, panic is that sudden and intense fear or feeling of fear. So, of course, you're going to feel panic. Very good. All right, listen to this one. She was a little scared, but her something helped her keep going. She was a little scared, but her helped her keep going. Option A, determination. Option B, hesitation. And listen to the sentence. She was a little scared, but her helped her keep going. So she kept on going. And what is the word we're looking for? What is our useful word here? Exactly, determination. It's what keeps us strong when we're afraid, right? Very good. Okay, one last sentence. He has of snakes, so he never goes near them. Remember my husband? He has of snakes, so he never goes near them. And if you said, well, the options are phobia and fear. And you would say he has a phobia of snakes, so he never goes near them. Because he never goes near them, then that makes you think that he has a phobia of snakes. All right. Very good. I think we did well. We know the words, right? Remember, fear is natural, but what really matters is how we respond to it. Sometimes all we need is a little determination to overcome what scares us. So we're going to go into a break, but when we come back, we're going to take a closer look at today's grammar, how to talk about fear using be afraid of and a verb ending in ing. So don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back.
Estás escuchando
Vaughan Radio.
¿Quieres un descuento en los cursos intensivos de inglés de Vaughan? Pues ahora es el momento. Puedes obtener un descuento de hasta 39%. Para más información sobre este descuento u otros, pásate por nuestra web, grupovaughan.com.
Vaughan Outlet. Hazte con libros y packs coleccionables de autoestudio como Objetivo Inglés, Vaughan Certified Completo, Speak English Now e Inglés en 10 pasos. Ahora con increíbles descuentos. Libros desde €1, novelas con audio desde $3.50, libros infantiles desde €3 y mucho más. Entra en vaughantienda.com, Vaughan Outlet. Aprende más, pagando menos, hasta agotar existencias.
Vaughan revoluciona el aprendizaje de idiomas con Speak Pro, la inteligencia artificial diseñada para mejorar tu inglés. Pronunciación precisa, fluidez y confianza. Lleva tu inglés al siguiente nivel. Pruébalo gratis hoy en speakpro.es. Tu inglés está a punto de cambiar para siempre.
¿Qué hacen tus niños este verano? ¿Senderismo? ¿Natación? ¿Espeología? ¿Paddle surf? ¿Canoas? ¿Multiaventura? ¿Mejorar su inglés? ¿Y si lo hacen todo a la vez? Rodeados de naturaleza y con los mejores monitores angloparlantes Vaughan. Ven a nuestros Vaughan Summer Camps para que tus hijos vivan la mejor inmersión de inglés, multiaventura y naturaleza. Más de 3.000 niños lo hacen cada año. Encuentra su mejor opción.
En Vaughan sabemos que el éxito empresarial se nutre del dominio de múltiples idiomas. Por eso, ofrecemos cursos no solo en inglés, sino también en francés, portugués, italiano y alemán, entre otros. Visita grupovaughan.com o llama al 91 108 3488 y comienza a transformar el futuro de tu empresa hoy.
Una semana en un lugar apartado.
Nativos angloparlantes de todas partes del mundo, uno por cada estudiante.
Terminantemente prohibido hablar en español.
Actividades organizadas y conversaciones en inglés a todas horas. No exageramos.
Aquí o hablas inglés o hablas inglés.
Y da igual las veces que te lo contemos.
Hasta que no lo vivas no sabrás que Vaughan Town te va a quitar el miedo al inglés para siempre.
Lo que pasa en Vaughan Town no se puede contar.
Tienes que vivirlo.
Ven a Vaughan Town.
Más información, grupovaughan.com.
Young people in Spain speak and understand English better today than 20 years ago. However, their level is still insufficient for effective communication in the professional world. If you're a young person, and if you want to progress in your profession rapidly and decisively, stop everything and focus now 100% on English. Get the problem 100% out of the way now. Don't postpone it.
¿Quieres aprender inglés de verdad? Únete a Vaughan Groups, clases en grupo divertidas y eficaces. Más de 4.000 alumnos nos eligen cada año. Entra en grupovaughan.com.
Encuentra todos los libros de nuestros presentadores de radio en las tiendas Vaughan o en vaughantienda.com.
You are listening to
Everyday.
Listen to Vaughan Radio.
You're listening to Vaughan Radio.
Tune in every day.
Vaughan Radio.
Speaking with Confidence with Ale.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you for coming back to Speaking with Confidence. If you just tuned in, we were talking about our fears, temores, miedos, and we're using this special occasion today, being Halloween, to talk about that specifically. But as we said at the beginning, we're not talking about monsters and ghosts. We are talking about fears, real life fear. For example, fear of failure, fear of what I say before, fear of not being good enough, a fear of change. That's what we're talking about today. And now it's time to move into the grammar that works in this context, where we take the grammar behind real English and make things a little simpler, a little more clear, and a bit more useful. And today we're going to learn how to talk about our fears using be afraid of plus a verb ending in ing. And what happens? This structure, we use this structure when we want to describe something that scares us or makes us nervous or makes us anxious. But it is the easiest way to express what you are afraid of, what scares you. So let's begin with a structure. It's very simple. A few things that, a few ingredients that we need in order to form the complete structure. And the first one is the subject. Number one, we need the subject. I, he, she, they, we. Number two, the verb be. Am, is, are, right? I am, he, she, it is, you, we, they are, right? Number three, our phrase, afraid of, together. All right, afraid of. Think of it as a fixed phrase. Afraid of. And number four, the verb ending in ing. Any verb that we can use to express that feeling or that which causes us to feel afraid, to feel scared. For example, flying or speaking in public. So I would say, I'm afraid of flying. Or she, subject, is, verb be, afraid of, our phrase, speaking, our verb in ing, in public. She's afraid of speaking in public. Okay? That's how we're going to use it. And we can also say this in a negative form. We're not afraid of trying new things. If you're brave, if you are bold, we're not afraid of trying new things. All right, so now let's look at it a bit more closely. We need the adjective afraid. When we use this adjective afraid, we always use the preposition of. What I was telling you before, you think about it as a fixed phrase, okay? That little word of, the preposition, connects afraid to the thing that causes the fear. Afraid of spiders, afraid of the dark, afraid of speaking in public, afraid of flying, and so on. Always as a fixed phrase. Never afraid to spiders, to the dark. No, it's always off. That is a preposition you want to use, afraid of. And also, the verb ing is called, well, the verb that ends in ing is called a gerund. So it's a verb, in this context, acting like a noun. So when we say, I'm afraid of flying, it's like saying, I'm afraid of the act of flying. But we're going to make it shorter, and we're simply going to say, I'm afraid of flying. We're going to add the ing into the verb, making it a gerund, okay? So, as I said before, we use this structure to talk about fears, worries, or insecurities. I'm afraid of losing my phone. I'm afraid of going to the doctor. I'm afraid of making mistakes. Pay attention. I'm using all these verbs in ing. I'm afraid of burning the food when I cook it. I'm afraid of going to the dentist. All these things. I'm afraid of speaking to my boss, and so on. Okay? So remember, after afraid, always use the preposition of, and if what follows is a verb, it must end in ing. So that's be afraid of, verb ing. Okay, that's what it is. A simple way to describe your fears in English. So now that we know the grammar and the structure of that phrase, let's put this structure into action with real life examples. All right? So listen to this. We're going to use it. I'll say a sentence in Spanish. We're going to try it very easy. We're going to start with Spanish, and you try to say it in English using the structure. Be afraid of plus the verb ing. Listen carefully. Tengo miedo de volar. Tengo miedo de volar. Entonces diríamos, I'm afraid of flying. Very good. You could say, I'm scared to fly, or I'm afraid to fly, right? But we're using this different structure. Be afraid of, to be afraid of. So, tengo miedo de volar. I'm afraid of flying. Ella tiene miedo de hablar en público. Ella tiene miedo de hablar en público. And you would say, she's afraid of speaking in public. Very good. She's afraid of speaking in public. Muy bien. Let's try another one. No tenemos miedo de intentarlo. No tenemos miedo de intentarlo. Recuerda la estructura. Recuerda la estructura. Afraid of and the verb ending in ing. No tenemos miedo de intentarlo. Podríamos decir, si no utilizáramos esta estructura, podríamos decir, I'm scared to fly. Pero no estamos trabajando con esa estructura, estamos trabajando con esta otra alternativa. Afraid of and the verb ending in ing. Entonces me dirías, we're not afraid of trying. We're not afraid of trying. Very good. Él tiene miedo de fallar. Él tiene miedo de fallar. Recordamos la estructura, recuérdala. He is afraid of failing. He is afraid of failing. And if we want to contract the verb be plus the subject, we can say he's afraid of failing. Fallar, de fallar. Okay? Very good. Una más. No tengo miedo de cambiar. No tengo miedo de cambiar. Y recordamos que si la frase viene acompañada de la preposición of, entonces el verbo tiene que terminar, tiene que ser el gerundio, terminación ing. Por lo tanto, dirás, no tengo miedo de cambiar. I'm not afraid of changing. I'm not afraid of changing. Very good. I think you did well. So remember the structure. All right? Be afraid of plus the verb ending in ing plus the verb ing, the gerund. All right? Be afraid of and verb ending in ing. Okay. Let's make it more interesting by using some of our useful words from today, like fear, brave, daring, determination, hesitation, phobia, and let's mix those with the grammar that we just learned. You're going to build a sentence. We're going to do it together. Remember, every sentence starts with the subject plus be afraid of plus the verb ing. I'll give you the prompt and you'll build a sentence in your head and also say it out loud. I'll say it again with you and then you repeat it after me, okay? So here we go. Listen. She, afraid of, to lose control and panic. She, afraid of, to lose control and panic. So we're gonna say, she is afraid of losing control when she feels panic. Very good. She is afraid of losing control when she feels panic. So now that you know which phrase we're using, which fixed phrase we're using, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to wait for you to say it, okay? To use it. I'm going to say, listen to this one. Marcos, to show hesitation and meetings. Marcos, to show hesitation and meetings. And let's try. Marcos is afraid of, very good, showing hesitation, excellent, during meetings. All right, so let's put it together. Marcos is afraid of showing hesitation during meetings. Very good. Okay, now you know how it works. Let's do another one. To face my phobia and spiders. To face my phobia and spiders. We got 4 pieces of information there. You have to build a sentence using the structure that we learned today. Our fixed phrase, remember. So, let's do it. I'm, because we're going to contract I am, we're going to make it shorter and say I'm, and our fixed phrase today, afraid of, and verb in the ing, facing, I'm afraid of facing my phobia of spiders. All right, very good. Phobia of spiders, okay? I'm afraid of facing my phobia of spiders. Okay, all right. Now listen to this one. Let me try something different here. We not to be daring. This is going to be a negative statement. So we not to be daring and try new things. This is a challenging one. We not to be daring and try new things. And you would say, we are not afraid of being daring and trying new things. Very good. We're not afraid of being daring and trying new things. All right. This was a double challenge because we needed to put two verbs in the ing form, to be daring and try. Very well done. We're not afraid of being daring and trying new things. Okay, let's keep on going. Listen to this one. To lose my determination, difficult moments. To lose my determination, difficult moments. So let's see. I'm afraid of losing my determination in difficult moments. Very good. When things get hard, right? When things get difficult, I'm afraid of losing my determination when things get hard. Well done. Let's try another one. You can do this. Listen carefully. They afraid of, let's try that again. They to let fear control them every day. So I'll say it again. They, 1. To let, 2. Fear control them, 3. Every day, 4. 4 pieces of information. And you said they are, but now we're going to contract. So they're afraid of, now use the verb in its ing form. Afraid of letting fear control them, but they try to stay strong every day. We can say that. So let's listen. They're afraid of letting fear control them, but they try to stay strong every day. All right, this was also a challenging statement. But if you paid attention, we've been using the structure. We kept the fixed form. We've been using it as a fixed form, afraid of. And when we use it like this, with the preposition of, then the verb must end in ing. Afraid of losing control. Afraid of showing hesitation. Afraid of facing my phobia. What else? Afraid of being daring. What else can we say? Afraid of trying new things. And afraid of losing my determination. Okay. Afraid of not overcoming my fear. All right, very good. All right, I think we've used most of our useful words. Let's go over them once more, just so you remember which words these are. So we said fear, brave, determination, panic, daring, hesitation, phobia, and overcome. All right. So we've talked about fear, right? Things that makes us feel scared or things that we are afraid of. But look, we still have some words to work on, and these other words that we have not used, they are going to make us overcome those fears. So far we've been talking about our fears, our things that we are afraid of. Todo este tiempo hasta ahora hemos conversado sobre lo que nos causa temor, de aquello a lo que le tenemos miedo. Pero ahora tenemos unas cuantas palabras que no hemos utilizado de nuestro útil vocabulario, de nuestras palabras útiles del día de hoy, que las vamos a aplicar de una manera diferente. ¿De qué manera? De la manera en la que estas nos permiten lidiar con esos temores, afrontar nuestros temores. It's a structure to talk about how we overcome those fears. All right? Words like, which words are these? Determination, brave, and daring. So, for example, if I told you, I'm afraid of giving up. Tengo miedo de rendirme. I'm afraid of giving up. But look what I'm going to say next. But my determination helps me keep going. So what do we need to face our fears? Determination. So I'll say that again. I'm afraid of giving up, but my determination helps me keep going. Determination. All right. Now listen to this one. She's afraid of failing. She's afraid of failing. But what happens next? But she's brave enough to try anyway. She's brave enough to try anyway. Did you hear our useful word to face fear? Brave. Ella es lo suficientemente valiente para intentarlo de todas maneras. So she's afraid of failing, but she's brave enough to try anyway. Okay. All right, very good. Now listen to this one. We're afraid of making mistakes. We're afraid of making mistakes. We're using the same structure, right? Our structure today, we're afraid of making mistakes, but listen now. But we always overcome them by learning from them. We always overcome them by learning from them. Pero siempre los superamos aprendiendo de ellos. Esa es una buena manera de superar los miedos a los errores. Aprendiendo de ellos. All right, one more. He's afraid of losing hope. He's afraid of losing hope. Listen to that structure. He's afraid of losing hope. And what happens next? But their determination pushes him forward every time. But his determination pushes him forward every time. And a last one, because I really like this one. He's afraid of taking risks, but he tries to be daring and open to new experiences. That's another way of how we can overcome certain fears. Just to be daring. All right, that was very good practice, I believe. And that brings us to today's famous expression before we leave. And listen to this. Be brave enough to be scared. Be brave enough to be scared. I think that's interesting. Sé lo suficientemente valiente para estar asustado o para asustarte. It's a reminder that real strength isn't about avoiding fear. You don't have to be avoiding fear. It's about having the courage to face it and to keep going anyway, right? So even when you're scared of something, you just have to push yourself and grow beyond that fear. All right, that's it for today's conversation. And remember that if you would like to listen to our full episode today, you can find us in the Vaughan Radio app or the iBox podcast. All right, so that's it. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember, don't run from your fear. Be brave enough to face it. You and me will talk again on Monday.
Vaughan Radio Madrid 100.4 FM.
¿Quieres un descuento en los cursos intensivos de inglés de Vaughan? Pues ahora es el momento. Puedes obtener un descuento de hasta 39%. Para más información sobre este descuento u otros, pásate por nuestra web grupovaughan.com.
Vaughan Outlet. Hazte con libros y packs coleccionables de autoestudio como Objetivo Inglés, Vaughan Certified Completo, Speak English Now e Inglés en 10 pasos. Ahora con increíbles descuentos. Libros desde €1, novelas con audio desde €3.50, libros infantiles desde €3 y mucho más. Entra en vaughantienda.com, Vaughan Outlet. Aprende más pagando menos. Hasta agotar existencias.
Una semana en un lugar apartado.
Nativos angloparlantes de todas partes del mundo, uno por cada estudiante.
Terminantemente prohibido hablar en español.
Actividades organizadas y conversaciones en inglés a todas horas. No exageramos.
Aquí o hablas inglés o hablas inglés.
Y da igual las veces que te lo contemos.
Hasta que no lo vivas no sabrás que Vaughan Town te va a quitar el miedo al inglés para siempre.
Lo que pasa en Vaughan Town no se puede contar.
Tienes que vivirlo.
Ven a Vaughan Town.
Más información, grupovaughan.com.
¿Quieres aprender inglés a tu propio ritmo y según tu horario? En Vaughan tenemos la solución perfecta para ti. Con las clases particulares online de Vaughan, disfrutarás de la máxima flexibilidad en tu aprendizaje del inglés. Tú eliges. ¿Prefieres centrarte en la conversación o en la gramática? No hay ningún problema. Con Vaughan puedes seleccionar la modalidad que más te convenga. Y no solo eso, sino que también tienes completa libertad para elegir el día, la hora y la duración de tus clases. ¿Solo tienes 25 minutos? Perfecto. En Vaughan nos adaptamos a ti. Visita grupovaughan.com hoy mismo y descubre cómo nuestras clases particulares pueden transformar tu forma de aprender inglés. Flexibilidad y calidad en la enseñanza del inglés a tu medida.
¿Buscas el impulso definitivo para tu inglés profesional? Con Master Plus de Vaughan lo tienes todo. 5 meses de clases intensivas en grupo con el Executive Master, más 5 meses adicionales de clases individuales one-to-one online, donde tú eliges el horario, el ritmo y el enfoque, gramática, conversación o lo que necesites. Master Plus es flexibilidad real para alcanzar fluidez profesional. Descúbrelo en grupovaughan.com/master.
¿Quieres mejorar tu inglés sin complicaciones? Vaughan Inglés 4.0 es el